All right, here's the deal. I'm getting ready to do a new vent. I found one that doesn't turn and open, the cheap ones. It actually has a lever which comes open and stuff like that. So we're gonna go up top. I'm gonna take the old one off. I've never done one of these before, so we're gonna film the whole thing and we're just gonna go from there. I'll talk a little bit. I'll show you what we have, the tools I got, all that kind of stuff that's up there. Let's get up the ladder right over here at the rear of the RV and, let's get started on this. All right, here are the tools you're gonna need. Caulking, self-leveling, caulking gun, screwdrivers, wrenches, scissors, putty knives, cover kit, a installation kit next to the drill, and a drill to get the things off. Those are the tools you're going to need, and the reason you're going to need these screwdrivers and wrenches is for the cover that goes over the vent. So that's what you're gonna need to do this job. All right, it's a little windy up here on top of the RV. Sorry for the noise if you're getting it. There's the vent right there. That's one of them. That's just gonna be a basic vent. The other two in the bathrooms are gonna be max fans. That will be another video. I'm gonna clean that off and I'm gonna film it and clean the area around it so there's no moisture, and then I'm gonna get it off of there. Other than that, let's just get started on that.
Eventually.
All right, I got all the holes cleared out. Let me show that to you. As you can see, I got above all the screws cleaned off. So I can take the drill and just unscrew all those. And then I'll pull it out.
Five minutes later.
All right, all the screws are off. Now, this is what I got to do. All right, you see all the screws are out, and you see the putty along the sealant right here? I got to clean all that off, all the way around it, so I can pull the lid off, and then I got to clean underneath it and around and get it, all of that I can off. So we're going to go ahead and do that right now.
A few minutes later.
All right, I got the vent off. Let me show you what we got to do next. Okay, basically you see all that caulking that's around here? We have to scrape all that off with a plastic putty knife and clean it up as best as we can before we put anything else back down on it. So that's what we're going to do now.
A few moments later.
A little side note, just to get that caulking off of the top of the vent, to get the vent off, it took about 35-40 minutes. It's a little cooler here, so the caulking's not as soft. So if it was a little warmer here, it would probably be even a little quicker, but it's about 70 degrees right now. So it took about 35 to 45 minutes to actually get the caulking off around it so I can pop it off. The other thing I did was, once I got all the caulking around, I put the putty knife underneath it and just cut it until I broke it loose. Again, about 35 to 45 minutes to do it. Use a plastic putty knife, because if you use a metal one, I have a fiberglass roof, I don't want to cut it, and if you have a rubber membrane, you'll probably definitely cut it. So use a plastic putty knife when you're doing this. And then the other thing I did, I put the vent end inside, and I put once it was lined up, I put a pencil line around it. Let me show you that. All right, as you can see, there's a pencil line that goes all the way around this thing. So when I put it back down on it, I'll line it up with that pencil line, and then I'll be able to start putting screws in. This one right here, this plastic piece, is actually too short. I took a chance, so I'm gonna have to order one of those or go pick one of those up and cut it to fit. Anyways, so let's get started putting this thing in. All right, I have to put some butyl tape on. There's this thing, the kit. It has white and dark screws in it. It has enough butyl tape to go around the vent. Let me show you where you're supposed to put it. All right, where you're putting the butyl tape is along over the holes, all the way around it. All the way around this thing. And they didn't even give me enough tape to do it. Thank God I have another roll.
Later.
How's that look, Lisa? All right, here comes the fun stuff. All right, I have it screwed down. Let me show you the next thing we got to do. All right, the next thing we got to do, all this excess putty around here, we got to scrape off, and then we got to put lap sealant over this, all the screws, then a bead around it, and then a little extra. So that's what we're going to do next. All right, there's something I want to show you that I took a chance on, seeing if it would work out, but it didn't, so I just had to buy a new one. It's no big deal, but I just thought I'd take a chance and not do it. So let me show you what I'm talking about. All right, as you can see, this right here is not into the groove. It's about 3/4 of an inch to an inch too short. So what I got to do is buy a new one of these. I thought I'd take a chance and it would fit in there, but it's actually too short, so I got to get a new one, which is no big deal. They're about $20, $25. So I'll get a new one. I'll have to cut it to fit, and I'll put that into this video, and then I'll put it all done, and this will be complete. Now, there's going to be a cover on this for a reason, but I'll show you. This isn't a screw handle. This is, you just lift and pull. It's really nice. I like that better than a screw handle.
Meanwhile.
All right, I got the mounting brackets in, which was a pain in the tail because of my large sausage fingers. So let me show you what I had to do. All right, I had the lid actually open so I can get my fingers in here, but I had to put this screw with this washer and a lock washer, but I could never get the lock washer in. So what I did, I just cranked down really tight. I put the big washer in and cranked down really tight on the nut, and hopefully that works. If that doesn't work, what I will do is I will get a self-locking nut to put on that, so don't back off. But I cranked them down really good. So these were the little bitty washers right here. I couldn't get on because I couldn't get my finger in there real good and to hold it in place. So I went ahead and just tightened them up, cranked them down really good, and now I'm going to put this plastic cover on it and bolt those down. So let's do that. Well, let's see if we got it done and how does it look. Well, it's done, and it looks like it was done by a professional, which I am not. Far from that. I just do things. Scale of 1 to 10, I give it a 5. The reason it's a 5 is it's really not hard. It just took a little time. I started around 10. It took me an hour and a half to do it, and put the caulking on top that you saw. Then I let it sit for about 2.5 hours. Let that caulking settle and level out and everything. Then I put the cover on it. And like I said, those little bitty washers were a pain with my sausage fingers, so I just didn't use them. And again, if those don't, if those wiggle off, I'll just get locking nuts with them. So if you like what you saw, like and subscribe, and we'll see you at the next video.